What's up, you guys? It's Steve here, and this is your stimulus check update. That today is the deadline to claim the $3,200 stimulus payment. How to apply. We're hearing there are 9 million Americans across the United States that have missed out on stimulus checks, child tax credits, federal level stimulus provisions, and this is their last opportunity. The IRS has announced that there are only a few days left to claim stimulus checks by submitting a tax return. Here are the details. Now, in addition to that, we're going to be covering the Pandemic Money Tracker. A committee for a responsible federal budget has been keeping track of all the stimulus package funds, and there currently remains $500 billion of leftover pandemic funds that could be used for stimulus checks, child tax credits, and assortment of different provisions. However, the federal government sees it necessary. There is still remaining money. I'm going to be covering the details for you. And also, take a look at this. Just coming out, stimulus update. The number is proof that it's a wrong time to send out stimulus checks. And they're saying, with inflation as high as it is, that we should not be sending out a fourth federal level stimulus check, according to this article. Now, let me know your thoughts. Should we send out a $2,000 fourth federal level stimulus check as we enter into a recession and people need more assistance to help pay for these increased prices? Or do you think no, like this article? If we send out more stimulus checks, it's only going to worsen inflation and make the current economic environment even more turbulent. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, but I'm going to cover all the details for you in today's stimulus check update. And if you appreciate the updates, don't forget, do me a quick favor, smash the like button, helps out a ton with the YouTube algorithm. Hit the subscribe button to stay up to date. And if you like a comprehensive list of every stimulus check in the nation, states, cities, counties, I've compiled a list of over 100 different ones available right now, all available at www.reliefroadmap.com. But with that being said, let's go ahead and dive into this article, get you caught up on deadlines and information you need right now. Now, link in the description below if you'd like to access this article, read it for yourself, and get a hold of the hyperlinks. As this article says, the deadline to claim the $3,200 stimulus payments, it's today. How to apply. Now, it says the deadline to claim the stimulus checks and the 2021 child tax credit is November 15th of 2022. The IRS has sent letters to those who have yet to file a tax return and thus have left their benefits unclaimed. And just to clarify, if you do not claim your stimulus payments, don't think you're doing us a favor. It's only hurting you, because the federal government is going to take the money back and then they're going to spend it on whatever they see fit. It's not just going to decrease the debt. They're going to use that money for something else, and it was meant for you. Now, for those of you that have not yet filed a 2021 tax return, one must be submitted to the IRS by the deadline in order to receive the payments, which could total more than $3,200, and we're hearing that is the case for over 9 million Americans across the United States. The American Rescue Plan, passed by the Democrats in March of 2021, included a stimulus check worth $1,400 more for families and funds to boost the value of the child tax credit. In 2021, the value of the child tax credit increased from $2,000 per child to $3,600 per child under the age of 6 and $3,000 for those between 6 and 17. There are no income minimums, unlike the $2,000 credit, meaning that those who may not have submitted a return should do so as soon as possible. For more information, one can look to the IRS and the website dedicated to helping parents and guardians navigate the child tax credit. And you can see here, tweeted out from the IRS News, claiming certain IRS credits may result in a refund, even if you're not otherwise required to file tax returns. Use the IRS free file by November 17th, 2022 to prepare and your 2021 tax return electronically for free. And I've mentioned this several times. Even if you typically don't file taxes, you're going to want to contact them, use their tools to be able to access this, because there is money set aside and people are missing out. Over 9 million people. Don't miss out on this stimulus money meant for you. Now, speaking of unused federal funds, take a look at this. This is the Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget. It keeps track of all of the pandemic money from stimulus packages. COVID Money Tracker. Here you can see the administrative actions, about $1 trillion allocated, of that $800 billion used. And the orange bar, legislative actions. This is money sent out from Congress for stimulus packages. There has been $6 trillion allocated, and of that, $5 trillion and 500 billion has been used, which means that there is 500 billion remaining. So there is unused funds just sitting there. And if you scroll down even further, you can see the uses of this. You can see how much was allowed, how much has been committed, dispersed, and deficit impact. Now, scrolling down, you can see in the legislative action, direct payments. There has been about $870 billion that has gone out for that. And you can see here each and every one of the stimulus checks on a federal level that has taken place. The $1,400 per person stimulus check was about $400 billion. The $1,200 per person stimulus check, the first one that went out, was about $300 billion. And the second stimulus check, which was $600 per person, was about $160 billion. And we're still waiting to see if there's going to be a fourth federal level stimulus check of $2,000, which we're hearing would have a price tag of roughly a little under $500 billion, which, as you saw, just happens to be the exact amount that still remains according to the pandemic money tracker. Now, we will see, because at this current time, we're waiting for the results of the midterm elections. We have not seen any actions bipartisan through the traditional means going through Congress. There is still a possibility of reconciliation, but we have seen the Democrats have a difficult time trying to agree on anything amongst themselves, which could still possibly leave executive actions, but it has to be done the correct way, tapping into these funds, reallocating it, and sending it out. And we're seeing that right now with the student loan debt forgiveness. They're having a difficult time with that because it was not done in the correct way either. That is currently on pause. I'll keep you up to date on all of that, but let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Should there be a fourth federal level stimulus check of $2,000 to everyone in the nation? Well, there is an article that just came out saying that now is not the time. This number is proof that it's the wrong time to send out a stimulus check. Now, the article's key points simply say that stimulus checks tend to come into play during periods of high unemployment and economic decline. The amount of cash Americans were sitting on this year makes stimulus checks a non-discussion. And they're making the argument that we have high inflation, low unemployment, and they're saying right now is not the right time for stimulus checks. However, some are saying, listen, people are still hurting. The numbers aren't giving the exact situation that we're in with the pandemic. And if we just send out checks and not a stimulus package, just checks, direct money right to people, that it would help out a whole lot. As we've heard, that is the number one top provision that helped keep people afloat throughout the course of the pandemic, keep them out of poverty, and by far the most popular stimulus provision that there is. And we just saw another poll that 63% of Americans say they like another check. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. So there you have it, you guys. Today is the deadline. Be sure not to miss out. In addition to that, we're going to be seeing what unfolds with the remaining funds and if there is or is not going to be more stimulus checks. Now, in the meantime, while we're waiting to see if that happens on a federal level, like I said, I'll keep you up to date on states, counties, cities. I'll let you know about PEBT and SNAP, which we're hearing is likely going to continue on until at least April of 2023, since they passed the 60-day expiration deadline to announce the end of the emergency declaration. So looks like this is going to be continuing on, and we're hearing there could be a new wave hitting this winter. So as more information unfolds, I'll be sure to share here on the channel. And with that being said, you guys, thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button to stay up to date. Thank you for all the support on the kids channel, Liam and Naya. More content coming out from them. Check out my second channel, Steve Ram Finance, if you're interested in learning about growing wealth and personal finance. And with that being said, you guys, thank you so much for joining me. I'll catch you in the next one. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.